Before we start the video, I want you to subscribe to the best Telegram channel at the first link in the description, where we show our earnings on cryptocurrencies, and not only. Our capital that we manage is more than $3 million. Thanks for subscribing. Also in the description is a links to verified exchangers, when you register on which you get a welcome bonus from me. Let's get to the video. Friends, the famous bear Michael Burry is again shorting the whole market and advising to buy gold instead of Bitcoin. Elon Musk chose Twitter instead of Tesla, and the leading American banks are sounding the alarm and pointing to a new collapse. I know that you will write in the comments that speaking about short, it's time to buy. Well, let's look into it. The same Michael Burry, who became a legend in the stock market during the crisis of 2008, wrote and deleted a tweet like this. He always does this, which is why there are special accounts that take screenshots of his posts. It's becoming clear that Burry is warning of a collapse and is now taking a big stock market short, and maybe even cryptocurrency for company. Because, before that, he wrote a post like this, according to which, gold's time will come when cryptocurrencies are almost ruined. And, if you've been following the markets closely, you're aware that Bitcoin has updated its bottom as a result of the bankruptcy of crypto exchange FTX. And this story has just begun to unravel. There are reports that the head of the exchange, known as Curly Sam, took out a whole $100 million loan to himself. And according to other reports, we are talking about $3 billion at once. But that's another story for the next video on the channel. For now, the important thing for us is that cryptocurrencies, indeed, found themselves in a very difficult situation. And against this backdrop, we are seeing a strong rise in gold, by about 10% in the last few days. Who does not follow this market? Just take my word for it, that is a lot for gold. It turns out that Burry is right about gold and Bitcoin. And then we have to assume that as far as the prediction about the S&P 500 is concerned, he is not wrong. And now, it's time to short the stock index. In fact, let's not jump to conclusions, but so far the situation looks like this. The expectation that the S&P 500, right now, is near its local peak, and that another wave of correction awaits us further. The leading American banks also confirm it. Thus, the analysts of Morgan Stanley expect the end of 2023, i.e., the next year, for S&P 500 at the level of 3,900 points. The paradox of the situation is that the index is already trading at this level, and just a few days ago, it was almost at 4,000. So what will happen to the price over the next year? It's not really going to change. Let's look at the chart to this forecast. From current levels, the stock index is expected to start dropping to between 3,500 to 3,000, depending on the strength of the correction. The fall should occur in the first quarter of next year, and in the worst-case scenario, the S&P 500 would fall below the levels from which it fell during the Corona crisis in 2020. Based on the correlation between the stock and cryptocurrency markets, we can assume that over the next 6 months, Bitcoin will not return to the bull market. Moreover, you and I may see another bottom in the event of a panic sell-off in stocks. What reasons could lead to something like this? The bankers are betting on a worldwide recession, which will cause business problems in the top companies, and stocks will go down. And if you think back to previous forecasts from Michael Burry, he said that you can't trust the FERS now, which promises easing of monetary policy. After all, inflation is still just picking up. He points out that inflation comes as a result of two peaks, and, so far, we are on the decline of the first of them. In other words, the beautiful data that has so pleased investors with the decline in inflation in the United States, stronger than the October forecast, sent the S&P 500 straight up 4,000 points. In the future, could change dramatically. And things will continue to unfold in such a way that the FERS will have to continue to raise rates, maintaining a step of 75 points or more, and investors will panic and sell. I emphasize that this is not financial advice, but one possibility for the future. And as for gold rising during the Bitcoin crash, and what's the nuance there? all told in our Telegram channel. You can subscribe at the link below the video. And I move on to, so far, the head of Tesla, Elon Musk. Right now, Elon Musk is going through a lawsuit in which Tesla investors have accused him of making too much money on the company's stock. The amount at stake is $560 million. The essence of the claim is that Elon is not paid by Tesla as a director of the company, but depending on the growth of its capitalization, he receives options to buy back shares at a price much lower than the market. So Musk sells his current shares, buys new ones instead through options at an undervalued price, and pocket the difference. We're talking tens of billions of dollars. The applicants believe that Elon Musk, in fact, as the head of the company, used his official position and came up with such a profitable scheme for himself to get billions of dollars of income. What's interesting, for some reason investors don't wonder that if the capitalization of Tesla would not have broken all records, Musk would not have earned anything, and in many ways, it is his merit. But that's beside the point. The important news is the affidavit, one of the directors of the company, James Murdoch, who said that recently Elon Musk announced the choice of a successor to his position. Who it will be is unknown, but, allegedly, he will be at the helm of the company to replace Musk. And Elon himself will probably focus on managing Twitter. At least, that's what we can tell from his last post on the social network. It would make sense to continue to run Tesla and to find a manager at Twitter. After all, Tesla's last report was a disappointment. And after the recent Tesla crash in China, there could be problems in the Chinese market. There was already some serious competition there, plus Musk openly supported Republicans in the congressional elections. And they were only able to take control of the House of Representatives. That is, the Democrats retained a majority in one of the two houses of Congress. And they have enough power to recall Musk's calls to vote for his opponents. In such a situation, it should be Tesla that demands more attention from Elon, but he, for some reason, is draining. Maybe he doesn't want to associate himself with business failures. Or maybe he just sees an entirely different perspective and already has a plan to make tens of billions of dollars from Twitter, like Tesla has done before. After all, Musk has been speculating that he might make the company public again in a few years. Consequently, he makes changes to the business, waits for a new bull market, and then sells parts of his 100% stake to a greedy crowd of his fans. Can you and I benefit from this? If Musk is closely involved in Twitter, then the integration of cryptocurrencies could be one of the key areas in the development of the social network. We'll see. So far it sounds like a pretty good plan. I hope you've already liked it and new viewers have had time to click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, your Cryptanic.